Alright, and I'm back with the first pack. Here we go. Some strong picks here are Domestication. Beastbreaker is pretty solid, especially if you play him on turn 2. World at War is obviously quite ridiculous, especially considering the deck I was wanting to build. Zulaport Enforcer is strong. Skywatcher Adept is okay. Um, I'll try to explain as many of these cards before I have to pass as I can. This lets you search your deck for basically search the top 5 cards for a land or a colorless card, or basically a colorless card, which includes lands. It's just a 2/4 flyer for 4. This guy's a leveler, black leveler. This allows you to make Eldrazi spawn. I don't think it's that great. This allows you to make Eldrazi spawn. It's pretty okay. This is alright as well. Domestication is pretty good. It looks like I'm passing a pretty strong blue-black signal. I'm gonna want some black back, but we'll see. I'm picking World at War. It's a pretty solid rare. Um, Vendetta's pretty good pick here. Red doesn't work so well. I'm getting a semi-strong blue signal, but he could have just taken his bomb rare. I don't think this is a bomb, but it's a pretty solid one. So, I don't know. Vendetta is really good, and it would work good with that. Obviously, clearing the way and getting in there. I think I kind of want to draft an aggressive red-black deck and see how that works. I kind of have a couple ideas, so I want to send a signal that I'm not going, that they can't have black. So this is either Stagger Shock or the Enforcer. I think it's Stagger Shock all the way. The Enforcer's okay, pretty good, but level up cost of 4 is not great. Boar Umbra is a solid card, but I'm not going into green. I'm gonna definitely pick up the Stagger Shock here. This is like a giant growth. This is a counter spell right here, but you have to return a land. This is an 0/4 defender that prevents a damage to you. Umbras, if it says Umbra, it allows the creature to die once, and the Umbra just falls off instead of them dying. And they still deal their damage, so that's pretty good. This guy's not that good, I don't think. Overgrown Battlement is a solid card. It allows you to produce mana, especially if it's like in a defender deck, but Stagger Shock is the pick here. It's like 2 shocks in a row if you didn't know about it. Now, Mortician Beetle seems kind of crappy, but I'm going to want to get some of the spawn makers, either the Dread Drone or the, what's it called? I can't remember what his name is, Dread Drone or the Hatcher. And I like those too, but Suffer the Past is good as well for that extra bit of damage. I think I'm going to go with Suffer the Past. It seems a little more consistent. The Artisan is pretty solid too, but I don't ever expect to get that high. High casting cost. So look at the cost sort here. I'm passing some pretty strong blue cards here, like Regress and white cards too. This is pretty good. Momentous Fall is solid. It might almost be worth rare drafting, but Zulaport Enforcer is pretty solid, and I want him to be able to. I want at least one to be able to get in there. And I don't think Momentous Fall is that splashable. So we're gonna kind of. No, I don't know. I think this is worth hating because I could just straight up lose to this card, but I think I should work on my deck this early. I don't know. I'm gonna take Momentous Fall. I think it's a much better pick. And, well, I just have so many good cards in those colors, I think I should stick to them. And here's a Last Kiss, which is another card that I want, and also a Dread Drone, but I think I want to go removal. Other cards here, this guy is pretty okay, but he's really expensive, so I don't really like him that much. This is situational, but if you're ahead in life, it says gain 2 life, and then you draw a card. If you have more life than your opponent. And it rebounds, so it returns to your, so you like recast it the next turn for free, which is pretty sick. So I think I'm gonna go for the Last Kiss here. I don't think I'm passing that much good black. I mean, Dread Drone is pretty okay, but I don't think he's a pick above that. Pick above Last Kiss there. Now I'm not getting past that much red. I mean, I did get past Stagger Shock. Maybe there's not that much red. Not sure. So we'll see though. I got an idea for some of the crappier cards that I'm going to be trying to put in this deck and see how those work out. And there's one right now. And Contaminated Ground I'm going to pick up because even if they are black, I can make their other, like if I get like 4 Contaminated Grounds and maybe like Lust for War, 2 Lust for Wars, and a couple more removal spells, like I can cut their color out completely. I mean, I know it's not, that doesn't seem that solid of a strategy, but we're going to see how it works out. And there wasn't that much else for me in those packs. Curse of Wizardry somewhat fits my strategy. This is a counter spell here, kind of expensive. This leveler is kind of annoying. He's got a fat ass. Stomper Cub is a solid playable, but Dread Drone fits my strategy best. So far, these are all pretty solid playables if I get more than one of, like, I'd like 4, maybe. Probably at least 4. But I don't think it's that unreasonable to expect 4 of these because no one drafts them, even if they're in black. Essence Feed Wield. I'm going to pick up that. It's another solid finisher. I'm just going to straight to the dome. It's kind of like Suicide Black-Red. If I can get 2 attacks off with this guy, who can't be blocked, seems good. Lust for War is pretty sick, I think. Especially if you put it on creatures with like abilities like Coraline Slinger or the blue looter guy. Passing Momentous Fall was pretty ballsy, but especially after that Beast Breaker. But there wasn't that much other great green from what I can remember. Seems like these guys are really considering their picks here or something. I don't know what's going on. But I think people underestimate this card. 2 life and cutting off, like, they pretty much have to use the land if they have a drop that turn. So that's going to be like a shock. And the land still can't be used for their off color. So I think with a couple of those it's pretty good. And Goblin Tunneler to get more damage in there seems good. Growth Spasm could be potentially splashed to splash for another card, but Oust is pretty annoying. But I think Goblin Tunneler is going to be the pick here. Because if I can get one of those Valakut Firebores, those guys wreck with the Tunneler. Make them unblockable before your combat phase and then attack with them as a 7/1. Speaking of which, I think Ogre's Cleaver fits that strategy pretty well. Ogre's Cleaver on a Zulaport Enforcer seems good. These 2 cards help me gain a little bit of life back. Suffer the Past has worked well for me in real life drafts. I mean, it seems kind of lame, but at instant speed, it's pretty solid. And Zoffshade works well with Goblin Tunneler. Brood Birthing works good with Dread Drone. And if I can get some of those, like one or maybe another Hatcher, or like a Hatcher or another Dread Drone, or maybe some Spawning Breaths, they work really good with those Blood Throne Vampires, which is a pretty sick combo with Goblin Tunneler again. And again, I'm just trying to get in there, like. So this deck seems to be working pretty well. I mean, these cards seem underpowered, but Contaminated Ground, I think 2 of these might be a little overkill, but we'll see how it works. Be able to cast Essence Feed like turn 2, or like turn 3. So Fissure Vent is pretty crappy. We'll put that in the sideboard. I'd like to pick up 2 more Contaminated Grounds, at least. 1 from each of these. Last pick Contaminated Grounds. Oh. Alright, so let's open up the next pack. Bomb Black Rare. I'm liking what I got here. Ogre's Cleaver on the Brood Birthing works well. And the Brood Birthings are going to help get the Ogre's Cleaver attached. Wow. Well, that seems perfect for what I'm looking for here. Kiln Fiend is a solid playable. Shrivel is pretty good. Corpse Hatch is really good. I like that a lot.